So I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Charlie Kirk saying that he's like fearful of black pilots, and he thinks, "Oh, I hope that person's qualified if I see a black pilot." So he teamed up with Kyle Rittenhouse, and it did not go well for Rittenhouse when he showed up to a particular university in a majority black city. He was questioned about him teaming up with Charlie Kirk, and I'm just going to play the video for you because this is like, I think that Kyle.
Are you trying to say he was a snowflake? Are you trying to say he wanted a safe space, that he didn't
like
want to have a high marketplace of ideas and battle in it?
Charlie Kirk looks like his jaw got stung by a bee and he never got it fixed. Like he's just
but instead of like swelling, his face shrunk. Is that what happened?
Yeah, his face looks enormous. His face looks like. His face looks like the ones that from Rick and Morty that come down and they're like, "Show me what you got."
Yeah,
you know,
it looks like it's every skull.
Every time he says something racist, his face gets smaller. So he's doing it to himself.
Yeah, get bigger.
Reverse Pac-Man.
Yeah, that's literal. It's proven in science. So this is basically look at how Kyle Rittenhouse responds to the allegations of Charlie Kirk being racist. This to me was great. This is another Chaya Rai chick, Kyle Rittenhouse, where he has no charisma but really wants to be an influencer.
CEO of Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk has said a lot of racist things.
Like what racist things has Charlie Kirk said? We're gonna have a little bit of a dialogue, but what racist things has Charlie Kirk said?
Okay, I'll answer the question of racist things he said. He said we shouldn't celebrate Juneteenth. We shouldn't celebrate Martin Luther King Day. We should be working those days. It's called the Tanya Brown Jackson affirmative action hire. He said nonsense about George Floyd. And he said he'd be scared if a black pilot was on a plane. Does that not seem racist?
I don't know anything about that.
Okay, well, after all the things I just told you, would you consider that hate speech?
I'm not going to comment on that.
Yeah, and they had
he fucked that up. That's him.
He had to end that event early because it was just people.
No. He runs off like seconds after that. Do you not have the clip? I can send it to you.
Oh yeah, no, I don't have that shit.
Can you set that clip to the Benny Hill theme with him running off? Like,
it's just like nobody was there to support him. It's like I don't understand why.
Can I just ask first the obvious
always
question?
Show up to these...
Why is he giving a speech at a college?
Thank you.
What knowledge is he going to impart?
Hey, yeah, I kill people. Questions, please. Answer.
Like
you
what
first.
the fuck is he doing? This shows you how much money conservatives have to pour into these fucking dipshits and try to prop them up and create something out of these fucking losers. Yeah, and they're all there to heckle him because they're like, "Why the fuck are you here? Like, what are you doing here?"
They were there with them. They were there on a mission. They were there to check him. Yeah.
I love how he's like, "Can you give me one example of Charlie Kirk being racist?" And he just lists them immediately. Just so good.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
No, what you're talking about. The one you're talking about.
You didn't
black
Google
pilot one was like that comment
that
2 weeks ago.
Funded to head over to the Capitol. Can we talk about that? January 6th. I know that they were there for that. They were there to check him.
Like he asked for examples.
I just
was given examples. He asked for examples, was provided examples, and then gave an answer that he could have given before hearing those examples that he doesn't know anything about it. I mean, the providing of the examples was something he was not ready for. Obviously, he really thought he really pulled one over on them. Like, oh, give me an example. And he thought they weren't going to be able to give him one.
He thought he was trying to use the traditional debate bro tactics where he was like, okay, well, give me an example and I'll debunk that one by one. But he just like got bombarded. I haven't seen this video yet, so I think it's just a different angle though. But we
but this one plays out.
You'll running off.
You'll see the rapid exit. He runs off.
Okay.
With his innocent dog. The dog is blameless and all this. Okay.
Oh, why is there a dog there? Oh,
it's his dog.
Yeah. We got to save the dog from him.
Dog.
Yeah, we got to save the dog.
People love to bring that dog.
Let me refresh.
Yeah.
Twitter is. I noticed today I wasn't able to play videos at full screen. Like Twitter is a terrible.
It's a terrible video platform.
It never works half the time.
FYI,
it's called the Tanya Brown Jackson affirmative action hire. He said nonsense about George Floyd, and he said he'd be scared if a black pilot was on a plane. Does that not seem racist?
I don't know anything about that.
Then answer no. Does that seem racist? Is a yes or no question, Kyle?
Yes, camera person. Be in the amen corner.
Deflection!
Come on.
Deflection!
Yeah.
Deflection!
I like this video better. I love the cameraman.
I like the commentary.
Boom!
Wow.
Snowflake.
Fuck yeah!
Wow.
Yeah!
Who do they
Guy
think?
killed 2 people left.
Listen, we coming straight from the dorm.
If I ever need to heckle somebody out of a room, I'm just gonna be like, deflection! Deflection!
Yes. Because at the end of the day, like, you can't come here and be somebody who is promoting division. And we know what that looks like here in America, especially. We know that people are going out targeting marginalized communities because of the rhetoric that people like Charlie Kirk put out. So you're coming to a college where kids who look like the people who are affected by these comments they go to. So they're going to come and they're going to check you. There is no reason why this man should be holding any kind of conversations. Go to one of them evangelical schools that's all about conservatism. They go there. They'll listen to you, but don't go over here to these schools where these kids have voices and they will check you at the front door, because that's going to happen. And you see who was in the room. You can tell that they were like, oh, Charlie Kirk come in. Oh, let's pull up. Let's buy these tickets or whatever it needs to be. Oh, let's pull up. Yep. And because you can see who was in the room. These are not people who support Charlie Kirk. And, and the room was pretty empty. So there's why was he there? Because like you guys said, that money that can go to communities that need it, they will fund for these losers, these conservative losers, to go and speak at these schools. It seemed like they are wanted at these schools, that their voice is necessary.
Somebody must have invited him too, right? They can't just show up.
In every school, they have a conservative team or whatever. Yep, so they to be
club gets some funds, the club or whatever that's sponsoring him will get some funds and invite him.
It's all about getting, Kyle Rittenhouse destroys.
Yeah, exactly.
A bunch of, like,
liberal, he didn't get that clip this time.
But that's a good point though, because you have to think about it this way. Like, that guy, I haven't heard a shit ton about Kyle Rittenhouse in the last 2 years. I will hear about him every 6 months, right? But something that's interesting about it is because he was propped up as this conservative kind of figurehead, and most of the times when people get propped up like that, they go through this whole cycle where they learn media training, where they start to build up their platform and become a big thing. Rittenhouse didn't really do that. He didn't really have a lot of time. So this is somebody who's trying to put themselves into that ring. I think he was auctioning off a gun or something like that a few months ago. But he was trying to put his hat into the ring for this. And you can kind of tell he has absolutely no media training, especially, and he's done very little to build up his platform in a way that would work, and that shows you look, if people want to hear what you have to say, you don't have this much designed opposition against you, right? You're this is the problem with, again, I go back to the Cody Johnson thing that we were talking about earlier, is all of these decisions and all of these talking points and all of this media ecosystem they've built is built out of spite. And if you don't have your whole bullshit operation backing you up, the other side of spite hits you right in the fucking face, and you have to leave with your dog running off stage because you can't answer basic questions, right? I can guarantee you, if it was any other bullshit conservative commentator, they probably would have stayed. They would have probably been able to deal with those questions because they would have grifted their way through it. But this guy can't, because he doesn't have the training and he doesn't understand what it takes to live in this. I'm just saying it's the pastiche and the fakeness of it. He's not understanding of it as well. The technique's not there either.
He doesn't know how to gish gallop. He doesn't know how to evade questions. He's
not
somebody who's not media
He's not a
trained
pundit yet. He wants to be a pundit. He's not a pundit.
Yeah, a normal person would try to answer a question, when it's given to them. If you can't answer that question, you shut down. A propagandist or a pundit would just evade, reframe the question, answer it the way that they want to answer it, and then voila, just destroyed this college student. Here's a 10-second clip or whatever.